Yo, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Franco. This is Trading Futures Live. And here we're going to review the pre-market. We're going to do the pre-market analysis that we do here every day. Okay. So let's jump right into the charts. Let's start with the dollar. Oh, before I start with the dollar, let's we don't have much today regarding the news. We did have some numbers coming out of Europe, Great Britain, and we do have what is that we have today? We do have consumer inflation expectation. I think is at 11. 3 month. Yeah, there you go. Consumer inflation expectations is at 11, but it says it's just 1 out of 3 stars. It's a yellow folder. I don't think it'll have much impact to the market, but I do monitor this data here. All right. So now we can continue on. All right. So here's the chart for the dollar. Yesterday we did have a bullish day on the dollar. Today we're giving up some of the upside yesterday, and we came to this rally-based drop, and we're started to retrace back down. Now the dollar is being very bullish. Okay, we're in this formation that is pushing the price back down. Remember, we're in areas from the 2000s, right? So it's hard to know if these supplies to the left will work. But I want to keep it short term. The short term story, I don't think is complicated today. Is pretty straightforward. We do have this demand, right? This demand right here from 2 days ago. From Sunday, sorry. So here's the deal. If we go through this demand, we can expect a comeback here, okay? And a further continuation to the downside. And this demand is pretty significant for me, okay? I do think this is a very high quality demand. Actually, it worked for us a few days ago, and now it can continue to work, okay? Remember, we do have some news coming out on Thursday, and that news is going to impact the market, and it's going to move the dollar. Today's story is if the dollar continues down, here it is, the break of the demand. So I will try. I could try some shorts on the equity markets right here, and the longs will be here. Okay. If we continue to the upside, here's the London Open. So I would argue that this is the area for the longs. Okay. If the dollar comes back, I will pay attention to this area, right? For the longs. If we break this, the same story is true, but we got to go through this. Okay. We come back to the London Open, and here's where you can put your shorts. Okay. All right. So here is a short on the equity market. Here is a long on the equity market. Here is the long on the equity market. Here is a short on the equity market. Okay. That's how I will. Good morning, Ismael. Buenos días. Here is how I will play the dollar today. Okay. I think it's very straightforward. Remember, I do think the rest of the week until Thursday we might have some chop. Okay. Yesterday it was very volatile, but at the end we managed to close just -1%. I think we're losing sensitivity here. The market was down 1%, and we're like, okay, it didn't drop too much. Okay. But what I'm referring to is that we were -2% intraday, and then we managed to come back to those levels, right? or even overnight. Overnight was dropping, and then we managed to recover back again. Okay, we'll see that later. So that's the story for the dollar today. Here I wanted to see the bond yields. We were not able to watch the data yesterday. We figured because it was a banking holiday or whatever. I'm not completely sure, but here's the thing. Yesterday, the yields, bond yields, were up almost 2%. Okay, so the 10-year yield managed to close at 3.96. That's quite significant, right? And that tells me that probably this pivot is not going to stop the yields to continue to the upside, right? So the formula that I use is if bond yields and the dollar are going to the same direction, the equity market usually goes to the other direction, okay? So bond yields going up with the dollar going up, it's a short in the equity markets. Let's go to the lower time frame here, and the lowest I like to see is the 30. Okay, so the 30, we came back to this to basically to the open from no, what is this? I don't understand this chart. It's all flawed. I need to do some research on this, but regardless, there you go. It opened at 10:30. I don't know why, but that's okay. So it came to this pivot, right? I do have this demand that turned into supply, and then back to a demand level at 386.7. So we'll paying attention to this level, okay? If the bond yields get to this level and the dollar is in demand, so that's when you plan for a short in the equity markets. If it continues to go up, I wouldn't I don't have any like reliable area here, because here you have the the big drop, yes, but here I wouldn't expect the prices yields to come back to this area. If this level is strong enough to push the yields to the downside, I wouldn't expect that it's gonna come back again. Okay, so if prices come back again, most likely we're gonna go through it. And if we go through it, I wouldn't put too much weight into my trading decision, because if I were to think something about the yields influencing my trading, is to take a long on the equity markets, because if it's going up, it's gonna encounter supply at any time, right? So that's the only point that I can say about bond yields right now. All right, the VIX. Let's go through the VIX. Interesting chart. We haven't we haven't broken here the September 22nd high. Okay, here's the let me put this chart bigger. Let's see if we can go to daily. Yes. Yesterday we gapped up. We went to the highs, and we tried to retrace back down. We didn't close the gap here. We were close to closing the gap. And today we are also gapping up. But the more buyers show up on the recent lows, this thing gaps up, but it comes back down. Okay, so it's yet to see. There's not much information. The thing that I can tell is that there's a lot of supply in this. We have two huge engulfing candles to the downside. Okay, that's why we haven't seen a real breakout to the downside on the equity markets, I think. Right? Buyers are showing up. Every time this thing comes here, buyers showed up. If we have a breakdown on the equity market, we will have a probably, if investor bailout there, or a retail investor capitulate, we will have a continuation to the upside. Now, it's not very likely. Look how many times we have been here since December, January. And January was peak fear on the equity markets, right? Then we had February, April. This is the low, the previous low, right? And this is here's the recent lows on the equity markets. it's not much information that I can tell about the VIX. Now, the only thing I could say is a good time to sell puts. Okay, so they are coming up in price. All right, let's continue on. CL, a supply that is working pretty nicely here. Now, I saw this and I said, all right, let me go. I'm not going to do it myself. I'm going to do it during the live stream. So I did have this supply, which stopped the price pretty nicely. Now, at this point, we broke this trend line, right? So this supply for me is one that you can use for strictly for a tradable reaction, right? 2 to 1, 3 to 1, depending on your objective, right? I don't think this supply will get prices back to this area, but if it does, fine. If it doesn't, then you have to be ready to either scale out at 2 to 1 or try to manage the trade, okay? Because this run up broke the trend line that we had since July, and now we are retesting the trend line. So the way I want to see this is, all right, so we broke the trend line. We're back to the trend line. Let's go back down into lower time frames so we can find areas that we could be interested, right, for our trading. All right, we know prices came here. Let's go below the trend line. And I want to find something around 9 a.m. Okay, why is that? Crude oil opens at 9 a.m. Okay, so 9 a.m. is key for me. All right, so we do have this one. Right, let's go below. I want to see if I have any sort of like nice pivots breaking to the upside here. Well, you do have this one, but this one is already broken to the downside. Then you have this ones, right? This one is pretty good around all these pivots. 1, 2, 3. So you have few of London opens right here. You have London open right here. You have US market open right here on crude oil. So I do think this area is the one that can help us big time. Okay, I want to see, most likely this is 10 a.m. There we go. Here's the one. Here is the zone that we're looking for. There we go. So 85.56, 85.56 to 84.64. It's not even too big. It's okay. Right? So we do have this one, and I will put here lower probability demand, right? And here I'll put higher probability demand. Okay, so those are our areas for crude oil. Okay, now we can get rid of the trend line. All right, and let's see how that works in the upcoming days. All right, after crude oil, I want to go see, let me go put it back on the daily, and I'm gonna get rid of the drawings. Silver coming out of the supply, pretty nice. It's coming to a very crowded trading area right here. Few days here, few days here. So I bet there is a COT right here. Sorry, a POC right here. Okay. Gold came back to this rally-based rally coming out of the supply as well. All commodities are going up. Well, only silver is not going up, but the rest of them are just having blue candles. Okay, so that tells me that probably the dollar will continue its path to down levels. Okay, All right, so let's continue on here. Let me go to the ES chart. All right, so ES is coming off of a demand that we have here, right? So this demand is from November 2020. Okay, we had the first tradable reaction, the 5-6% run up here, and then we came back here and we're trying to hold. So buyers are trying to defend here. So here's the problem with us here. If you are going to short down here, is going to be very dangerous because you have this high quality demand. Do I think this demand will hold prices ultimately to all-time highs? I really sincerely don't think so. There are too many headwinds right now that will probably tell me that the markets will continue to go down, but that I don't base my trading on that assumption, right? I want to go to a lower time frame and so on. But I want to be aware that 3607 is a demand. So I don't want to short the market at 3610, okay? I want to see this thing coming back down, right? If we clear some more, then I will be more prone to short this thing. But for now, I want to be aware that the demand is right there. Okay, even if I'm shorting on the lower time frame on the share bars in the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq has the same demand. I want to be aware that the short has to be with a close target, very aggressive targets, because you don't know. You have a lot of factors that can tell you, all right, this thing can just turn around from here. Okay. So on the overnight, we broke yesterday's low, and we're back to the upside. Okay. Now, like I said, the market looks pretty weak. It is at its low, but it can turn around at any time. Okay, I have to be aware of that. Okay. Morning, MB Taurus. Welcome. All right, let's continue on. In 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. Same thing with the Nasdaq, but the difference is, oh, I do not have the Nasdaq demand right here. Let me go see on the daily. No, I do not have the demand drawing the Nasdaq, but let's go find it. Okay, this is I think this is the last week low. We already broke the low, so let's go see if we can find the demand here on the Nasdaq. Okay. So you have all these daily. So we haven't even gotten here. But the real demand on the daily is maybe this one. All right. So I want to see to the left. If you guys see this pivot on the ES, this is the pre-COVID high. This pivot on the ES is already here, right? We are reaching this pivot right here. Let me see. I think so. Let me go check. Oh no, this is September. Forget about it. So this is a pre-COVID level. Yes. And this is September. Why we don't have that pivot here? Because it's this one. Wow. Wow, we broke to the downside here. So this is the September peak. So this is the area that is showing up on the ES. So it's not the same area. We're a lot lower in the NQ. Okay, so at this time, I do have this one, but I don't think this is the one. I think we're more, I am more inclined to probably head to this pivot right here, or at least this one, which is 10,132. And if this happens, then this is very possible. No, I don't want to be a very bear. Like I don't like to be a bear. Yeah, but the London Open on the dollar is still holding prices down. Okay, so pay attention to that one because the volume on the futures market is not as high as in the dollar at 3 in the morning. Okay, so London Open is very important, but it's more important in the currencies. But the London Open in the dollar is still valid. The dollar is still down from that level. Okay. All right. So I don't have any demand. I can do it during the live stream. We can go back in time and we can go back in the chart and check that. All right. So let's go to the 4 hour here. So the 4 hour does not look pretty. I can tell. You do have this bullish candle, but around here, those two things, those are all these can be some sort of a supply. Okay. Oh, look at that. The week came here. Let's go to the 40 minute. If we go to the 40 minute, what time is this? 10 in the morning. And then we managed to come here after the close. We are coming down. So definitely be inside this area. We'll pay attention to this level. The is 11,000 basically. All right. So like I said, I was very cautious with the shorts. Probably the longs will have more room to the upside, but still, the shorts are very limited too. Like I do have this. There's not much risk and reward ratio to either side right now. Like if you are going to the downside every time we break a new low, we have a rejection to the upside. So we need to be aware of that. Okay. I'm not gonna be the one waiting for the breakout. Meaning, I'm not gonna be the one risking that the market is gonna break down 500 points today. Okay. I want to keep my target close so I can really hit the target. Okay. All right. So the let me show you real quick the RTY. So the RTY has the most bullish case. We haven't even broken the June the September lows here. Where's the June? This is a 40 minute. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, there you go. Here are the June lows. Okay. So RTY is managing to hold the price here, right? We haven't broken any low on the RTY. So that's one sign. Remember, small caps start to turn around before the rest of the market. So I'm not gonna say that the turnaround will happen today or tomorrow, but we do have important data coming in this week. CPI, then we have the Fed meeting. So let's be aware of this. And before we close this live, okay, I'm gonna show you this because we do have earnings this week. We do have Friday. We have Thursday, BlackRock, um, Delta, but not as important. But we do have Friday. Three of the big banks like Citi, Wells Fargo, and J.P. Morgan Chase are gonna report on Friday. So tomorrow, what I will do here tomorrow is that I will check the XLF, the ETF for financials, to see where we're standing on these earnings, okay, and what to expect for the movement this Friday. All right, guys. See you guys in 10 minutes for the live trading session. All right. Thank you for being here.